Give me one.
What size?
Any size, just flat.
You could jam some other rocks underneath. Or
Yeah, make it like a
snow.
butterfly. I was like, what is that mad animal there?
That's funny. Okay, yeah, the way I like to do these things is you know what I mean?
That's a bit better. There we go.
Got it?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
that's a bit better.
So if you don't mind, I would love you to just tell me just introduce yourself a little. Share as much as you're comfortable with, like.
Are we already going?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Just like yeah. What do you want people maybe to know about you? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Gus from Scotland.
Scotland.
Just was working in Germany for a few years, but just got bored of it, man. Bored of the working for the man.
Like, help me. When did you move from Scotland to Germany? How old were you?
I was 21. 21, but I was with I was with my ex for like 6 years before that, so it was like I knew about the job beforehand. I just wasn't in the right place to go at the time. So when I split up with my ex, it was just like time to go, man.
Yeah. Like open new doors.
Yeah, exactly.
Close one and
exactly. But it's opened doors to other things like coming here.
yeah, sure.
So
And then 2 years in Germany. And that got you into the travel mindset or what?
not really been in Germany. Germany was okay, but I met more kind of like-minded people that wanted to do the same thing. We kind of went on holiday a lot.
What do you mean, like-minded people?
Just like people that aren't just happy staying in the UK,
Yeah.
doing the same thing over and over again for fuck all. Like,
The rat race.
yeah, like just want to get out of it, man, and go fucking see the world a bit. So, I mean, met a few guys there. Went to Thailand like earlier on this year, and then we're like, fuck it, man, got the bug for it, and then came out here more permanently.
Yeah. So how many times have you been to Thailand now?
I've been in and out of it a few times, but I've been like probably in total like 4 or 5. But most of it's been in Bangkok.
Yeah. I love Thailand, man, but every time when I think about like living here, the climate would be too much for me. Like 3 showers today already. and
See, I'm
just
quite
sticky again.
I'm quite used to it now. Like being from Scotland, it's quite a change, but it's also not like once you're used to it, it's all right, man. You know what I mean?
All right, so like it should be enough for like an overview about you. So you're working as a mechanic before,
Yeah, man.
and still in Australia as a mechanic now.
Yeah, for a short time, for a short period of time. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. Like when we were in school, you got like started thinking, okay, which job should I do? And
Oh, it's never pushed. Mechanics and like trades are never pushed on you in school.
very true.
You know what I mean? It's always just like you need to go to. Well, in Scotland anyway, it's always just like the option is you go to uni
Yeah.
and then you get a job from that. But then
But
you get your
also, if you go to uni, like I had so many mates in university that were just clueless about what to do next.
Yeah, exactly. Well, most of the people that I know that went to uni, they're in a worse position than I am, and it's like I don't have any student debts or fuck all. You know what I mean? It's
I feel like in order to really be satisfied with your work, like there needs to be some kind of passion behind it. And you were talking like yesterday, I think you told me that you could see yourself like working at the climbing.
man.
place.
Well, that's it. It's like when you find something you actually just enjoy doing. It's
And
not like actually working.
Yeah, that's
So-
right. And I feel like even if you do something what you're passionate about, you will still have moments where you're like, or days where it's struggle, you know?
Yeah, man.
Just tough. But if it's meaningful to you, like,
Exactly. It's like
if you know why, you can like endure
It's
everything.
really
I guess.
it's what they say. Really, fucking. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
But also like you want to create some value for yourself and the people around you.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's like always this thing like, hey, what can I do with my passions that's creating value for others so I can make money with it? I don't know, man.
Fact, man.
Like a lot of things I do for work, I really enjoy because I get to work with people and I love like helping people out and creating stuff. But still there are
That's
plenty of days with more struggle than passion. Like
with mechanics, a lot of it's just like thankless struggle. Like you don't get a lot of praise for what you do, and it's just
You don't connect with
you don't get a lot of
customers at
pay.
all, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's a buffer between you and the customer.
Yeah.
So it's like there's almost like a tension between the mechanics and because the customers just think that the mechanics are trying to rip them off, and then the mechanics just can't be arsed with hearing the customer's shite. You know what I mean?
it's interesting. And I'm constantly in this battle within myself, like corporate job, security, regular pay, less struggles in that sense, but
I'm just at a point where I'm like, I can't at the moment, man. I can't justify it because it's like you're just making rich people richer.
I really think I romanticize romanticize the idea of doing something myself.
Yeah, at the end of the day, with big companies, you're just a number. You know what I mean? You're not they don't care about you. You're just a number that.
On the big scale, yes, but I truly believe that on the personal scale, you can be in a corporate setting and still have a beautiful team. Like the last company I was working for,
Yeah.
I was so surprised about because I never experienced that before. Like they were so kind and they were truly good. They were really meant good.
Like
you
a
know?
good team,
Yeah.
etc. But
on the big scale, of course.
and
it's just
like
a number.
that's what I'm saying. Company wide, like at the end of the day, that like if you're working for a big company, they don't care about.
It's a bit windy, eh?
It's a little bit windy, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm experienced.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. By doing something yourself, I think you allow for the opportunity to create something maybe really impactful.
Plus,
you
if
know?
you're doing it yourself, it gives you the chance to expand as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're not restricted to the one role.
Right on.
Oh, there's a hair in my joint.
I leave. Nah, it's interesting. But I try to think that if you just do your best every day and like not focus too much on your expectations, you know, whatever will happen will be probably good.
Yeah, man. There's no point stressing.
Right.
No point stressing over nothing in it at the end of the day.
The only thing I'm stressing about sometimes is, like, in a positive sense, the amount of opportunities, bro.
But that's part of being here as well. Like being over here, it's like there's so much more to do. It's like I was saying to you yesterday, the only thing that bothers me now is being bored. But the quick way of fixing being bored is just go do one of the many activities that you have.
I like being
here.
bored.
Being bored's good as well, though. Yeah.
Like, just be in that state and watch what your mind comes up with. Like, usually some things you need to tackle. For me, at least.
That's what I mean. If you're bored, that you start finding yourself doing things that you want to do because it's you want to do it, not because it's like somebody else wants you to do it. If you're bored, it's like the way to get your way out of boredom is by going to do the things that you want to do. So you start thinking more what you want to do.
It's just so much fun to look around here.
It's lovely, man. It's quite nice.
So, by the time we record this podcast, the fight hasn't happened. Paddy Pimblett against Tony Ferguson. I want to hear your prediction for the fight.
Tony Ferguson.
Tony Ferguson?
I don't like Paddy.
You don't, oh, all right. Is it because you're Scottish?
No, I think he's just a fucking wee idiot. Like he's just a wannabe Conor McGregor, you know what I mean? He thinks he can talk the talk because he's Scouse, but like,
I feel like he addressed it a fair few times that he's not trying to be Conor McGregor, but he gets put into this category because...
Yeah, no, but he is though. He's just trying to be like a new level Conor McGregor.
I see what you're saying. My bet would also be Tony Ferguson, but just because I have this deep hope within me that David Goggins really tapped into something within him, you know?
That's what he was saying. It's like it's all about cardio. Like they were saying that in the press conference that it's all about cardio. Like Paddy was trying to go at him about something, and he was like, "Yeah, but it's only cardio," and it's like, but cardio wins fights a lot of the time, especially when you're older like fucking Tony Ferguson. Like he's older now.
Yeah, and they always have the experience, but they gas out quick, eh?
Cardio's a massive factor, and Paddy Pimblett's just a wee guy. Like he's not really fought anybody of note, and the last fight he won, he shouldn't have won.
Was that against?
I can't remember, but it was just a wrong decision, man.
Yeah. They always like discussions afterwards, you know, especially with the big names, like, or where people feel like they want to create a big name, like Paddy should be the next big thing, and then.
Well, that's it. He's just a show pony.
Yeah.
He's not a fucking particularly.
You know
good.
who's a big show, but also an amazing fighter? Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley is an amazing fighter.
He's an amazing fighter and just so entertaining, bro. I love
his style as well. Like, see his style of fight. It's just fucking beautiful to watch, man. It's like
fun.
See what I was saying to you yesterday about climbing. Like a lot of it you need like a certain style to do it.
Yeah.
Same with fighting. It's like there's a really stylish way you could fight and like beat somebody up.
Absolutely. Can be art, man, for sure.
Jared Gordon was the last person that Paddy fought.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know the name.
Yeah, it's like.
So
I remember I should have lost it, man. I'm not massive on combat sports, but like I like watching the UFC when it's on. But I'm not like I don't follow it like I do football or.
Me neither. But it's just for some reason the UFC is just very capturing.
Oh yeah,
you just can't, like for me, I just can't get around it.
Yeah,
like
for sure, man. It's definitely it's getting busy.
It always gets back to you.
It's getting busy up in here.
I feel like it's a good one of the best spots.
Yeah, man. We've claimed our spot.
I was thinking of a question earlier. I wrote it down. Oh yeah. I wanted to ask about this climbing place here because I didn't even know that, but apparently this area is like a famous climbing.
I wouldn't be surprised. There was so many different kind of routes you could do, and it was just like it's the first time I've proper done like rock climbing, and it was just like some of it was definitely they'd made it so you could climb it.
Yeah.
But it was really good, man. Really good. And it was cheap as well. It was.
And you take for people to understand, like you take a boat, like a taxi boat from the beach. It's fucking just
like a long tail boat. It's like a 20-minute boat journey, and then you get to this other wee bit of a beach, which you can only get to by boat.
That's fucking sick.
And then you walk to the climbing shop and they kit you out with all your harnesses and stuff, and then you walk around to the wall, and there's quite a lot of people climbing, but it's good fun, man. It's really good fun.
I'm super keen to try climbing like in a wild setting.
That's like the first time I've proper done it like that, man. It was different, really different.
Yeah, you told me like you don't know if the rock is even holding.
Well, exactly, and there was like there's a few times where I've like looked down and I was like, whoa, I'm actually fucking really high up here.
Yeah.
But you're tied on and all that, so you're not going to fall. It's one of the guys I was with was worrying about it, and I was like, there's no point worrying, man. The guys are professional. They do this every day.
It's true. If they do it every day, should be able to trust them. Did I tell you about the story where, like 6 years ago when I was in Thailand, I was on, might have been Phi Phi even, some of the islands, and I saw on the internet that there's a rock outside in the water where you can jump from. And I love to like jump, how was it called in English? Diving, right? Diving, yeah. And so I went to this place, swam out to this rock, and it was like surrounded by like rocks like these, very sharp rocks and corals.
Jagged.
Yeah, very, very rough. So I couldn't even walk on there barefoot. It hurt my feet, you know. So I came up to this wall, and there was this rope, and it was like this, you know, 90 degrees, just straight up. So I grabbed the rope, and my stupid head, I didn't know you're supposed to like be straight and walk, you know. And I really like pulled myself up, but then I came to this point where the rope was like close to the rock, and I couldn't put my fingers underneath it, so I just could grab the rope from
on top
like that, and it was like 7 meters high, and underneath me were these coral, like these rough rocks,
like that kind of stuff.
I was like, fuck, if I fall now, I'm fucking destroyed.
Well, my friends were saying to me before I went climbing, they were like, I'm sure you can just go to Rayleigh Beach and climb the rocks. And I was like, yeah, but I wouldn't have climbing shoes or ropes, or why would I do it like that? And when I could fall off and die, when I could go and do it properly. And actually,
it was so scary. I promise you, bro, it was like I tapped into like a very primitive survival instinct mode. Like, didn't care about nothing. Like,
you just need to hold on.
Fucking, I was so scared for my life. Like, I never had this feeling before, and I made it up, and like my heart was pounding like crazy. I was like, it was shaking my whole body, like every.
It's adrenaline though. It's like you're pumping with adrenaline. Wow. That's what, like when I was telling you I was sat on the cliff face, and it was like I was hanging on by a toe and a couple of fingers, and it was like when I slipped up, my fingers just gave up. It was like.
But isn't it nice to have that safety?
Yeah,
so you can really push
like,
yourself.
When you first fall, it doesn't like you don't just fall back, and it's like you fall a bit, so it's like that you get that rush
sensation, yes.
And you're like, right, that sometimes that's why you can just go again. You're like, right, because you're like pumping with adrenaline.
Right after I jumped from the rock, I saw another guy climb up, and he did it the right way. He was like holding the rope and putting his legs against the wall and walking, and it looked so easy. And I was like, yo, face your fears, you know. And I did it right again, and I walked up, and it was totally fine.
Fact.
But yeah, definitely scary shit.
More clouds at sunset this evening. It's always cloudy at sunset.
But it's pretty beautiful.
I might go swimming in the dark tonight.
Yeah, let's do it. Swimming in the dark.
I mean, it can't be any more dangerous than swimming in the light, other than you can't see.
Is there anything dangerous even in the waters?
I don't know.
I just trust that in the modern world, every beach should have a sign, you know? Like in Australia, you can go swimming pretty much everywhere, and if there's something like those jellyfish or something, there will be a sign, you know, or crocodiles for the most part. I hope.
I've got, is there any jellyfish threat Ao Nang forum? Is it safe to swim? Right, here we go. I've got a quora.
Quora? What does it say?
Is it safe to swim in the waters around Krabi? Heed warning signs.
Heed?
So I think that means look at warning signs, like acknowledge them. But I'm not seeing any, and I haven't seen any. Lifeguards, none of. Jellyfish and marine life. Occasionally certain beaches might have jellyfish or other potentially harmful marine life. Be cautious and inquire with locals. It says stick to designated swim areas, but like I would say a designated swim area is anywhere with a beach.
And I would say this sounds like a generic text, like just
like an AI text, mate.
You know what I mean?
Fact.
Probably even in Germany at the North Sea they have text like, oh, there could be something, potentially.
It doesn't say anything, like I'm not seeing anything like saying sharks or.
Honestly, I feel like it's way too hot. It's like a hot tub. What kind of a shark is?
Fact. Like it's far too hot to have a fucking.
And all the fish that you see here, they look like aquarium fish.
Yeah, that's because
like
the water's
wee
hot.
Bit
that's because the water's hot.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice. It's not really refreshing, but it's nice. So, would you ever want to live again in Scotland?
Nah, man. The only thing I've got in Scotland really is like family now. It's not like I've got anything else there. It's fucking the lifestyle in Scotland shit, man. expensive.
Just friends and
Wet.
family, eh?
Yeah, it's like, well, I've only like even got a couple of friends in fucking Scotland because I was in Germany. Like a lot more of my friends are in, like, I've got most of my best friends are in Australia now, so it's.
Are you afraid to go back just for a year or something, that you might get stuck again? Or do you trust
Not
yourself?
stuck. I just like, well, I was back for 1 month and it was just I got like an overwhelming sense of boredom and like pointlessness being there. You know what I mean? It was like there was nothing there for me. So it's like whenever I go back now, it happened after a couple of months of being in Germany. Like the first time I went home, when I moved to Germany, it was like I was going home, and then like when I went back to Scotland, the next times it was like I was going on holiday to Scotland and then going home to Germany. You know what I mean? But I've not really got a life in Scotland anymore, so it's like.
Would you say like it feels like you're meant to be somewhere else? Like.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's why I want to be out here. I enjoy it. Like I'm actually happy living out here and seeing more kind of beautiful bits of the world.
I feel like the biggest thing, and I would like to know if you can relate to that, this boredom or pointlessness in Germany or Scotland.
It's totally different boredom to here.
What I feel like is I'm looking for a sense of, like the big question, meaning, some sort of meaning in my life. And I don't like them, and maybe it's the same in Scotland, I don't like the meaning that most people pursue in Germany. Like, family values is something I could get behind, but other than that, like just working until you're dead.
That's what I can't.
Working for rent that's not paying for anything.
Exactly, like see rents in Glasgow and that. Even in Germany, I was paid like for a flat by myself, and it was a shit flat. In like the middle of Mannheim, it was like over €800 a month. You know, just by myself. So it's like it's so expensive to live there, and it's not an enjoyable experience. It's not an enjoyable place to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I guess it's the same in Scotland. Like people just work from Monday to Friday just to get pissed on the weekend and do it all over again. Like that's how it feels to me. If I look at the parents, like that's where I looked at, you know, like.
Well, that's all there is to do in Scotland. It's like it's not just like not even Scotland. When I was in Germany, it was a big thing where it was like all we do is work all week and then go to the same pub every weekend and spend loads of money and do nothing. It's like you're not making memories doing shit like that. You're just
not making memories.
You're just getting by. You know what I mean? You're making good money, but you're just spending the same money and going to the pub.
Yeah. And then I don't know, like a big thing I feel like that I'm looking for is a community to belong to, like being. I'm
quite happy being like a bit of a black sheep,
wolf.
like a black sheep, and just kind of doing more things. Like I know that I don't fit into any kind of traditional like societies. Like I've got my own wee thing going on, but it works for me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's very important to not not identify yourself with a group. I think, like not say okay, being ideological, but I feel like what I mean by belonging to a community is more, of course, living a very unique life that is fit for me, but then still have like where I live now. It's such a small place, and you know the people around you, see them all the time. You have like people you go out for coffee with. You help each other out, you know, like you mow each other's lawns or shit like that. Like like this sense of community, you mean, where it's like people being nice together.
I've got a question for you.
Please, bro.
Having been to Thailand before weed was legalised, and now having been here after it's legalised, what's your general consensus on the matter?
So, for sure, the whole Thailand experience is different. What I hope is that also the weed tourism takes a bit away from the sex tourism.
Yeah.
Because besides, like, nothing wrong with getting a massage and shit like that.
Well, my friends I was on FaceTime to the other day that are back in Scotland, that are the same kind of, like I was saying, they're just kind of stuck there. Mm-hmm. They've got this idea that Thailand's this place and it's just full of ladyboys, and every single person you meet's a ladyboy, and it's like there's no women here, it's all just ladyboys, and it's like you're so naive to what Thailand is actually about.
Yeah, true. But you have to be careful.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There is certainly ladyboys there, but I was even a bit shocked when I got here, where it's like it's not anywhere near what anyone thinks it is.
They are like.
If you go looking for them, you will find them.
Yeah. How do you say this? They are like hotspots.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you can
It's
find
like
a lot
if you want to find yourself a ladyboy, it's not hard.
Not hard at all. Not hard.
But
yeah.
it's not like all that Thailand has to offer.
So that's one thing I'm hoping for, that might, like, the tourism, you know, switches a bit.
I think it has massively already. Like, people look at Thailand a lot now like a place to go and smoke a lot of weed.
The Thai people told me that, for all of the Asian countries, it's like Amsterdam now.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you see loads more people, like especially Indians. Like, you see lots of Indians come to Thailand.
Just come to have a smoke. Yeah, it's funny. And I told you earlier about the guy I met that is owning or working in a coffee shop. Or he's affiliated with a coffee shop, and for him it was his way out of his struggles. So good on him, and if it creates more value for the people here, I think it's nice.
I think it's like
Super surreal experience for sure.
I've obviously only been in Thailand since it has been just legalised, and it's like I think it adds massively to it here, but it can also take away from Thailand itself, because you can get stuck in a way of just getting stoned and not actually enjoying the country for what it is.
Yeah.
But it's also a good combination if you can enjoy the treats of Thailand whilst enjoying the country. You know what I mean? It's not just you don't need to just do one thing.
If you're a person that is like able to balance it out, you know, function and be like still pushing yourself to do something, you know, like you're going rock climbing and everything. It's not like
exactly.
You smoke weed and you just
I like
sleep all day.
I like to think of myself as a functioning stoner, because it's like it's never kind of restricted me. It's like I enjoyed living my life, but I like doing it after having a joint, and it chills me out. I can enjoy the experience more, I feel. But I definitely think it's a good thing for here. It's maybe a wee bit overkill with the amount that it's available, you know what I mean? It is, but I think we're still in the initial spike of like, because it's still the first kind of year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah. It's definitely the gold rush, you know, in the beginning. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Weed shops popping up everywhere, and also so potent.
Oh,
Just 20% plus THC.
That's it. You're getting like weed. Like, I think it's better than Amsterdam in the fact that, like, Amsterdam you'll get a jar with it and it'll tell you that it's this. Here it's like it tells you where it was grown. It tells you the percentage, how it was grown, all that.
But do you trust it? That's like.
Well, I like to think of myself as like I know my way about a wee bit of grain, and it's like with some of the weed you see here, it's like you can tell it's been grown under like good lighting and well watered.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like even when you smoke it, it tastes clean. You know what I mean? It tastes, and there's noticeable differences in tastes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's just like sometimes it sounds so the wind is nice. Sometimes it sounds so fantastical. Like, yo.
Yeah.
Bit overkill.
I think it's definitely a fun part of the Thailand experience, though.
Definitely changed a lot. What else did I want to ask you? Just living somewhere else in general, because if you don't see yourself living in Scotland.
That's what I'm saying. I've got my year visa for Australia at the moment. It means I can always go back and work there if I want to. If I run out of money, make a wee bit more money. And because I'm qualified in a trade, it's pretty easy for me to go to Australia and
I bet.
find work. I've got work that I know I can get from like a prior company, basically at the drop of a hat. So it's like I know the work's there if I need it. As far as long term, I don't really plan long term, because
you probably need to see much more in order to make even a decision.
Well, that's it. I'm not done seeing the world, man. I feel like I'm just beginning, to be honest. Like,
yeah, sure. There are a bunch of places that will be perfect for you that you don't even know of.
No, exactly. It's like I want to see China and South Korea and loads of places. You know what I mean?
I'm not too keen on going to China.
Like, a lot of folks say this, but I'm actually it interests me quite a bit.
Bro, Chinese history in general, like, incredibly interesting and versatile, and like
it's wild.
But right now, bro, there's so much going on and I was chilling at my hostel in Bangkok. There were 2 Chinese guys and 1 guy from Taiwan.
Yeah.
And I asked this guy like where they're from, and he was like, yo, I'm from China. And there was 1 guy who was like, yo, I'm from, and he didn't know how to say it. So what he said was, he's from the, I don't know how he phrased it. He said like he's from the Chinese islands or something like
I'm from
that.
an island in the Chinese Sea,
Bro,
South China Sea.
he was afraid to say, like he was not saying the word Taiwan
Yeah, man.
because of the other 2 Chinese guys. For them it's like, Taiwan
Taboo.
is China.
Taiwan taboo.
It's not, it's like John Cena. Have you seen that? Where he
Yeah,
was
I've
like
seen
talking
it.
in Mandarin.
Oh, don't.
He apologized because he said Taiwan is a country. And he said like, Taiwan is not a country.
I don't know if I've seen it. I don't.
Like, of course, we're both like 25-year-olds with limited experience. We don't know nothing about Taiwan and China really, but
No,
it just sounds so ridiculous and scary, to be honest.
it's just there's so many conflicts all over, and that if you can take one thing from it, they're all because of money and power. It's like even anything to do with China. You look at the Americans completely, essentially barricading China and by sea by setting up bases in the Philippines and Taiwan, Japan, Guam, like all these places. They're basically just making a barrier
Yeah.
for China, and that's the only place that China have a place for their navy. You know what I mean? It's like, and China's main goal is realistically it's to have the kind of their currency as the global currency. You know what I mean? So it's like,
They have big plans, right? There was this China 2045, like China being world dominating,
yeah.
and they have done so much like in Africa and
They're also fucking the world up so much as well. Like they've got so much shit in Africa, like mines in Africa where they get like child labour and like causing so much pollution, and
yeah,
that's why it's like the full world essentially could go net zero.
that's our phone, brother. That's
Yeah,
our phone.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's child labor,
Yeah,
man.
exactly,
Fuck
man.
yeah. That's
Exactly, but it's
fucking
like-
horrible, but
I seen thing. It's like
we're all in
the
it.
UK and America and Australia and all that could all go net zero, and it wouldn't make one bit of difference because of the amount of things that.
Well, the
Russia
net
and
zero
China-
thing is anyway.
Oh, it's a
My
myth,
biggest
mate.
problem with
It's a myth.
my biggest problem with net zero is not even like is it possible, whatever. My biggest problem is who's paying the price. And
Yeah.
if you want to go net zero, expensive energy is always like the burden is on the poor people. And I
Yeah.
don't even mean like homeless people. What I mean is just regular people. You know, like
Well,
my
it's like,
mother
look-
at home.
look at
she's
the- look at
fucking
the
struggling
cost-
with electrical bills.
Yeah, look at the cost of like living crisis in the UK. It's like people are literally choosing between eating and heating because it's like it's so expensive to heat your house,
So-
and it's like the wages aren't going up, but all the profits of like BP and all these massive fucking
Yeah.
petroleum companies are all making like what 82 billion or something profit.
So true. I mean,
Something
I get
mental.
it. I get it. You're accountable
Don't
to
quote
your
me on that, but
you're accountable to your shareholders, right? You need to provide more and more money every year. I get it. But it's just so hard to grasp for me that there's no way.
it's
to,
literally like when I say it, it literally all comes down to money, mate. It's because everything, like the reason that so many poor people are struggling is because rich people are getting more rich. You know what I mean? It's like, but they're rigging it in a way so it's like they essentially don't need to do anything. All they need to do is, it's like UK politics. They just raise taxes, mate, and it's paying for things like the fucking royal family to have these fucking £1 billion fucking houses.
I feel like
all-
the UK is definitely special in that regard, but yeah. Bro, the thing is, I'm super pro capitalism, and I feel like it's good on everybody if he makes a fortune. You know, that's nothing wrong with that. The problem is what you said, like the big corporations that are accountable to their shareholders and like have to present bigger numbers each year. You know, so it's not even that the money is used. Like it's not that there's one person who says, "Oh, now I get more money to spend." Nah, it's just fictional.
It's just figures, mate. It's figures. It's figures on a computer. You know what I mean? It's like, it's all these like stocks. It's stocks, mate. They're all just numbers. You know what I mean?
What I wanted to say about China before I forget that. There's this geopolitician called Peter Zayan, and I really love this guy, and he does amazing research. And he had this one one presentation about Chinese population decreasing, and he said that by 2030, China will have more people retired than actual workers.
Yeah.
And
Well, is the one child policy still a thing in China, or did they get rid of that?
yeah, they got rid of that, and now they're trying to push to have as much children as they want.
Because
But
it's like there'll be a full just missing generation, if you know what I mean. It's
Just
just
to miss-
madness, mate.
And just boys, all the girls were like not favored. So if you have a healthy population, it should always be like a pyramid. Right?
Yeah.
The most of the amount of people, young people.
Surely in China, it's just like
China is like a
Like an
diamond.
arrowhead,
Like
yeah.
no, how do you call this? Spade.
like a diamond.
Diamond, yeah, diamond. Not spade. That's the other one. But yeah, so that's gonna be so interesting. Like, just from my amateur understanding, how can an economy survive that?
hmm
Like more people being retired than working. That
China also has so many people though.
yeah.
So many people.
And
mate.
because they're like with Xi Jinping, I could imagine something happening like, they still have pictures of Mao everywhere. And I think they are more than willing to, let the people just suffer the consequences,
Oh mate, in fact they don't like that's it. It's they don't care about the people there. They just care about the
I would
power.
like to believe that they care, like this.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like in regimes like that, it's almost like they care for the people as a collective rather than an individual.
yeah,
On an
that's
individual
the idea,
basis,
right?
like
Yeah.
they look at everybody just the same. It's like
The collective.
it's not
that's the
really
word.
a way to look at it. But at the same time, UK politics, it's like a democracy, but it's not a democracy, mate. It's like it's so broke, and it's like being from Scotland, I don't even want to be part of the UK, but it's like we've got some laws which apply from the Scottish Parliament, but other laws and shit need to go through the UK Parliament, which are just not happy that we want our own government. So it's like they're never going to pass it for us because of the oil. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
there's so much money in Scotland with oil that it's too precious for England to let us go, but they'll make it out like it's because of the union and all this soppy shit.
I have a very practical question. A lot of times when people talk about this topic, it's very like, not really concrete. What I'm thinking often about is like this. You want democracy, yes. Lost my train of thought a bit. Yeah. And people complain everywhere where we have democracy, like Germany is a democracy, United States even, but you only get to choose between two parties, really.
Yeah, well that's it. It's like you can hope for democracy, but 9 times out of 10 when you've got democracy, you're choosing from two bad. It's like
And it's
picking
like this, oftentimes you get the feeling of there's the
picking
same person behind them.
the best shit out of two shits. You know what I mean? It's like
You know the South Park episode?
I don't watch South Park, man.
There was one where it's like vote or die, and you
Yeah.
had to choose between a shit sandwich and something like anything. Anyway, now what I just meant to say is, just for short, United States. I feel like doesn't matter what you would vote for. In the end, there are bigger interests like the military-industrial complex and things like that behind it. But my question that I wanted to ask is very practical. What would be what's the best country that who does it the best?
That's it. Like it's
nothing is perfect, and we have to really
Live-
appreciate that it is the
living-
best it has ever been. You know what I mean?
like, well, my view on it is like, see, living in other countries, like where what I've been doing, where it's like, well, Germany, I was there for a bit longer. I still didn't really take much to do with the politics there, but you become a bit stubborn to it, where you don't feel a need to have any real inlook, because right now for me, I'm not going to be in the UK anytime soon, so it's like I can moan about the UK politics, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to go and vote there. I didn't really vote when I was there anyway, because it was like I said, it was like I didn't believe in any of the parties were the best option. So, but it's like when you're living in, like, say, staying in Thailand, it's like I look at Thailand obviously have their king and the royal family, but it's a totally different. I feel like it's a totally different system to the way the UK have it, where.
It's a different world, man.
But it's hard, man. I don't think, to be honest, royal families should still be a thing now. That you're special because you were born special. You know what I mean? It's,
You know what? That's one of those topics where I would like to reserve my right to not have an opinion, because I'm not from a country with a...
I'll end up going on a tangent, man. I'll end up.
No, it's just I'm just trying to be positive and think that if you think about history and what humans been through, it's pretty much the best time that's ever been.
It is and it's not. There is a lot of wars and shit going on right now, mate. Like, see, like if you think about the conflicts in Israel and Palestine, and then you've got Ukraine and Russia. And then there's wars you don't even know about, mate. Like there's wars in Bosnia and stuff. In
Yemen,
Iran. Like,
nobody
you know.
talked about Yemen. Like nobody talks
But
about.
that's what I mean. Like media just force the stories that they want you to hear, and it's such a false narrative.
Yeah.
Like the mainstream news outlets are such a false narrative. Like they push literally the story that they want you to hear, and it's like it's so what's the word?
Deceiving.
Yeah, it's
Propaganda.
deceiving. Yeah, it's propaganda, mate. It's pure propaganda. I'll not get too into it because
Yeah, no, it's definitely wild. I'm just, trying to always get myself in a positive perspective and be like, okay, fair enough. It's not perfect. It's not really like truly democracy, to be honest. Like for example, I love RFK Jr.
yeah. See,
He's so likable. You know, I haven't read all his like research, but
there's a politician in Australia. I think his name's like Bob Cater or something like that. And he just seems like he's got Australia's best interest at heart. It's like anytime he's passionate, he's a funny guy. He'll flip on a coin, you know what I mean? He'll be like laughy, smiley, and then he'll just go straight to the business.
the business, yeah.
But he's a likeable guy, mate, and he seems like he's got Australia's like best interest at heart, and that's, I feel like, what it should be for all politicians. You know what I mean? Rather than like the Prime Minister of the UK's wife's got like a majority share in like a $1 billion company that got one of the PPE contracts from COVID. So the Prime Minister's wife directly profited off of people dying from COVID. You know what I mean? Because they were giving out private contracts to their friends. It's sick, mate. It's sick.
Yeah, crisis always creates opportunity, and
But that's what I mean. It's like the rich stealing off the poor.
bro, one thing that sometimes gets me a bit scared, not scared, but just, I get a bit worried, because if you look at the past crises we had, if we have an energy crisis, and who's making profits? Record profits, all the energy companies. So that creates an incentive for them to have more crises, right?
Yeah, like
Isn't it?
exactly. It's like the war business, mate. War is a business, and it makes so much money.
So if there's
So it's like it makes. Why do you think America have been to war every fucking year? There's like not a year like in history where America haven't been at war with somebody. You know what I mean?
didn't you just see? They were just on. It was just on the news like this past 2 weeks or something. I'm very sorry, I don't remember who the guy was. An American official, and he said on television like, "Don't worry, like we just got rid of our weapon stock, and now we get to stock up again and make good money." It's like hidden in plain sight.
I've seen it firsthand, like with my old job. You know what I mean? Like, see just the amount of equipment that the military have sitting there, and it's like you service it, and then it sits there for 2 years, and then you do it again, and you service it again, and it's like it's not been driven a mile. It's been sitting in, like, you watched it coming in. You came into work for a year. It's sat in the same place. And you know what I mean? It's
crazy.
The amount of expendable income that like the US government and militaries have in general is
bro.
silly.
Your opinion on this? I have for a lot of things I try not to have an opinion and just be a passerby, but just it's my feeling at this moment, you know. I might change my opinion in the future, but right now I feel like it's still good to have a strong America. because the core values of America, I truly think are good, like freedom of speech, and just
They are, but like as a country, it's just
God created everybody equal.
I look at like America as just a bit of a kind of fake country, mate, because it's like
There is so much fake about it. For
it's
sure.
well, even if you look at like the United States of America, it's like when I look at it, they're anything but united. They're just multiple states in the same area that all want different things,
Yeah.
and it's like
But
see
that,
when you
could,
hear
that
that.
could be a beautiful vision.
See working with them and you see when you hear them talking about guns and stuff like that, man, it's like, it's wild shit, mate, it's wild shit. It's stuff you don't like to, like they're talking about how like for example like a Kinder Egg and it is banned in America because it's deemed too dangerous for kids, but you can go and buy an AR-15 and just walk into a school and just shoot loads of children, you know what I mean? It's like,
But you know that's not the core idea. And when it comes to school shootings, right? I feel like one thing always gets left out, and this is so important. Mental health.
oh well, that's
Why,
it. And it's like,
bro? Why?
that's what I mean. America's fucked from top to bottom because even the health system, mate. Like, I've spoken to a few Americans. It's like to even just break your leg. If you don't have insurance, you're paying 40, 50 grand. So it's like think about, and then the fact that they can advertise medicine
Pharmaceuticals. Yeah,
on,
that's
like,
pretty
on
wild.
TV is mad. That's like you can go literally. In that case, you can go and Google. Like
And even the hard stuff.
It's a funny
like
joke.
hard stuff,
It's a
you
funny
know.
joke in the UK. You go and Google and you self-diagnose. It's always going to be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
It's funny that in America you could self-diagnose yourself with anything and then just go and buy something.
Is that right?
If you've got enough money, you can just go and buy what you need.
I've heard there are 200 million prescriptions for heart painkillers
Well,
in America each year.
that's what happened with all the OxyContin shit, like the
Oh yeah.
epidemic, because it was essentially legal heroin that they were selling.
Settlers, I think.
It was
Settler
a
family. Fuck.
But they were, it was essentially like legal heroin that pharmaceuticals were selling,
And they were saying it's not addictive.
not addictive. They were prescribing it to people, and all these
Imagine
people
that.
were like getting withdrawals when they were coming off it, and like they were just going and taking heroin
Yeah,
and
for
overdosing.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
And then with all the fentanyl right now. But okay, let's not focus on like we could go for hours on fentanyl and all the drugs.
fentanyl.
America is definitely a place with a lot of challenges. But I just mean this.
But look at the fucking president, mate.
Don't you think that? Okay, not talk about Sleepy Biden. What about like if you look at the world as a global structure? I think that America still plays a very key role in holding a lot of things together. And even though there's a very fucked framework behind it in some ways,
I don't know, mate. I really don't know.
I like to think so.
America, I think they, on a big scale, are looking just to have a finger in every single pie they possibly like. See the amount of bases that America have overseas. It's something like outside of America, it's something like 220 bases. The rest of the world's countries combined overseas bases is like 47.
Okay, that sounds like very like a very scary presence. But think about that. There are people like Ron F. Kennedy Jr. right now, and he is totally against the military-industrial complex, and he's totally against all of this foreign involvement. And I'm definitely with you on that. But I just like to be naive in that sense that I would like to have an America that is very strong and like just the capability, you know, like being capable of, like being very strong and capable, but still not doing anything.
They're also funding Israel and a lot of that shit, and it's like I'm not with that at all, because Israel I think is just a fucking fake state.
Whatever people think about it, one thing is for sure: it's definitely sad when that amount of people die.
Yeah, for sure.
And they
sure.
are still bombing, man.
For sure. But it's like that's why I was talking about the main media outlets being so biased. It's like it's been going on for years.
Yeah.
Israel have been taking land off Palestinians for decades, and it's like for them to say it was like an unjustified surprise attack. It's like no, it's a retaliatory act because of the ongoing.
The thing is, we could like when I talk about those topics, I really try to take a step back in the sense that history is so crazy, bro. So many fucking atrocious things have happened in the past. And if you look at it on a large scale, of course this was like October 7th or whenever it was incredibly like violent and horrendous.
I'm not trying to justify it. It was a deserved thing, but it was what I'm saying is in the media that it's being portrayed as if it's like it was unjustified, not justified, but unprovoked. They say it's unprovoked, and it's like it's not. It's been ongoing.
That's a way to put it. Yeah, it definitely was not, in my sense, no killings justified. But that is just my hippie perspective, you know.
No.
So I'm definitely aware of the fact that somebody else might have a different perspective on that. But
I'm not even saying it in the fact that like I don't think any killing is really justified. But I'm more just talking about the media aspect of it, where it's like I'm not obviously on the side of terrorists. Like I'm not.
I see what
too
you're saying.
involved. I've read up on it a fair bit, so I know a little bit about it. But it's, from what I understand, it's like the Palestinians have been just constantly losing land. Like American Jewish people can come over to Israel and claim immediate citizenship, and it's like so many doing this, and somebody from Palestine can't go into Israel and do the same. And Israel cutting off the power and water and electricity to Gaza and like the West Bank, you know what I mean? It's like
I've been living with a Palestinian
telling
man.
like a large population of people to move to another location so they don't get bombed, but doing it through social media and on the internet, which they've cut all access to.
And Gus,
and then bombing the area anyway.
To be fair, bro, it's also major thing to take your whole life and move it. You know, it's not just like, take your bag and go.
Exactly.
So that's a big thing. And I just wanted to say, like, I've been living for a couple of months with this Palestinian gentleman, and he's a very beautiful man. And he told me a lot about like his family history. He's from Bethlehem, and he had lots of land, and he lost everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally a genocide, mate.
But it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, you just can't do anything else than be a passerby. Like, I try not, like, with a buddy like you know, with a friend, we can talk about it, and like, eventually we end up on the same page, I guess. But there's so many people that have strong opinions, and I feel like it doesn't make any sense to talk with someone that has a strong opinion.
Yeah.
Like even my Palestinian friend, he has too strong of an opinion on that. Like, it's for me very hard to.
Yeah, I've got quite a strong opinion on one side, so it's like it's quite hard to debate it when you're quite strict on one side.
And especially with this topic, people are so tight with it. But yeah, maybe we can finish with something nice. Maybe you can come one step in my direction and invite the idea, like this. Just be naive for a second with me, and imagine. Fucking beautiful.
It's mad. Sorry, go on.
No worries. It was a beautiful distraction.
Looks like a volcano, man.
There's a volcano?
No, it looks like a volcano.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking volcano broke out. How do you say, did a volcano break out, bro?
Like eruption.
Erupted, yes, that's it.
A breakout.
A breakout.
Like a spot.
So, imagine a guy like RFK becoming president, and he's neither in the Democratic Party, he's neither in the Republican Party, and imagine him like really taking out all the foreign involvement of military. He knows, like, because he's working in this, he's a lawyer, and he's been like filing lawsuits against all those people for years, so they all hate him. His uncle got killed by the establishment, like his father got killed by the establishment. You know, like he truly might be authentic.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
It would, man. It would take so fucking long. Like,
to dismantle everything?
You do not realise how much infrastructure they have overseas, mate. It's mind-blowing. Like Ramstein, that base that I was near, it's like a city. It's a city, mate.
And isn't Rammstein the place where Rammstein... I'm German, I can say it. Rammstein.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Isn't that the place where they do all the dronings from? I've heard that one time.
It wouldn't surprise me because it's their command centre for Europe. It's the biggest base outside America.
I didn't know that it is like a city
It's like a city, mate.
with shops and everything.
It's got shopping malls and schools and
I think I saw a clip where they were like driving American trucks even in there, right?
Humvees and yeah, mate.
Don't they have like American shops?
Yeah, aye, mate. They've got full American license plate. Like when I was there and I paid with my card, it was like welcome. It said "Welcome to America," and I was like,
Fuck yeah.
mate, 'cause it charges you in dollars. It's like
That's pretty funny.
It's fully American, mate. It's American soil.
Can you go there as a tourist, as a civilian?
Not as a civilian. I could go there with my access,
Contracting
but,
work,
yeah, but not like I could sign somebody in, but yeah.
I bet I could like write a letter and be like a Make-A-Wish kid. Like, yo, let me
That's
cruise
true.
through here for a day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
but
wanna,
there's like full schools and all sorts in it, man.
yeah,
It's
sure.
like,
If you have a family there, you have to have a school and everything, right?
that's it, man. Like I was seeing a girl in Germany that was, she had a child with like a soldier that was like from one of the bases because he was
German
living
bird
there.
had a child with an
Yeah, man.
American soldier.
But like she didn't see the child of that.
She didn't see the child alone. She didn't get to stay on the base.
Well, they split up in that. Like
Ah, yeah.
she was staying at the base, I'm sure. This was like years ago.
Wow, man, that's so beautiful.
That cloud's wild, isn't it?
Yeah. And I like this section too. With the
Aye, that's where
red
the actual
stripes.
sun's going down, though, isn't it?
sunset is exactly now, 6:15. But it takes like,
It's so shit that there's always clouds.
I mean, the clouds allow for beautiful painting in the sky as well.
Yeah,
But
that's
you-
true. But you know what I mean? It's
You never see the sun setting really.
you never see. I've not seen one sunset.
And by the color of it, I bet it would be like a nice dark red sun. You know?
Oh, mate, it'd be glowing, glowing.
Oh man.
It's quite something.
Really is. So, what's next for you?
PP, man.
PP Island.
Work for a bit there.
For a bit? What does it mean?
I don't know, maybe a month, 2 months.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man. See, just kind of see how we
Nice.
get on. Maybe less. I don't know. Just see if I enjoy it.
How is that with the visa?
But you can get a visa extension from the immigration office in Krabi, so it's like 2,000 baht, I think. So you can that, and then you get a 30-day extension. So,
Nice.
oh, look at that, by the way.
Oh man, what just happened? What just happened?
That's mad.
What just happened? I feel like I need to capture that. That's ridiculous. That's fucking amazing.
It just went fucking wild for like.
Thank you so much for that.
That's mad, man. You can see like all the glare off of it. Whoa.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good
We were
picnic.
literally just talking about that as well, how you never actually see it. Mad, but that's
Bro, we-
sick, by the
We
way.
called it. We fucking called it. I feel like that's a good time to switch the angle. Yeah, bro. If you sit here with me, that's a sick
I'm coming.
frame.
I'm coming.
I
I'm
think.
trying not to fall off the edge.
I think we covered a fair bit. I just,
did.
maybe wanted to end with like your next path, but you're just going to PP and after that.
Yeah, well, I want
Just
to
been open, eh?
I want to do Vietnam, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But might need to get a wee bit more money behind me. Still got a wee bit saved away, so till I've properly run out. And then I've got a bit permanently saved for a flight back to Australia, so I can go make some more money, you know what I mean?
And
But-
when you're going to Australia, would you be keen on like traveling more in Australia, or would you be?
I've never been fully keen on Australia, you know what I mean? It's never been a place where I've been like, that's where I really want to go.
so funny.
Like, I think I got like...
How
I,
different
I
we
got,
are, eh?
I got a big overwhelming sense where it's just a lot like back home in the UK, but it's It's sunny 3 days of the week, and then it's just like thick thunderstorms for the rest of it, and it's like you're sold this a bit of a pipe dream with Australia, and I don't think it's really delivered that much.
I think it's so interesting that, and beautiful as well, that we all so so different that, like, my sense of Australia is like I don't want to leave.
I've got a lot of it. I've got a different opinion to so many people. Like, so many people love it, and most people love it, man. But it's just never like I just love like. I'm happy in Asia.
Yeah.
Like, I see the the difference in being in Asia for me to Australia.
I can really tell that you belong here.
Oh man, it's my place. It's for sure it's my place.
It's fucking beautiful. For sure.
It is, man.
And the people are so nice, like very, for the most part, very polite.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially the Thais, they're so very cute.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That sunset was actually glorious.
Thank you so much for this sunset. All right, brother. I think we can end it here.
There.
I appreciate your time very much.
Okay, bro. Fucking been a pleasure. Oh. Ooh, ski, oh.